flashing mics in karaoke bars. You're running late with half your makeup on.
Welcome to today's lesson. I am TMZ, teaching everyone abundantly, empowering many. Zakia, enlightening every day. You are watching Addicted to Astrology, but today we're going to do something different. We're going to go over some of the vocabulary that I use here on Addicted to Astrology pertaining aspects. Aspects are the transitions that two or more planets make to each other to bring the energy over us all. So you might hear me talking like Saturn square Uranus, which is heavy for 2021. And today we have a significant aspect, Mercury in Pisces squaring Mars in Gemini. That is currently happening today, and the energy, of course, will be happening throughout the week. So, aspects are very important because when you're reading your birth chart, along with the placements, along with the house placements, there are aspects in between. The aspects mean what planets were affecting each other when you were born and how that still resonates with you right now, as well as when they happen again or come close to the same degree or something of that nature. So today we're just going to break down the vocabulary real quick. I'm not going to go into heavy. I've already talked about Mercury squaring Mars in the last episode, and I'll do a little bit more in another episode, but today strictly is for aspects. Okay, so the background that my lovely daughter, Milan, who is a Taurus, she got this for me a few months back, and if you notice, it starts off with the first degree, the first realm. Instead of being in Aries, I believe it starts here because we are in the age of Aquarius. However, if you multiply 1 times 10, that's 10. So this is 20, 30, and it goes on. Each sign, each house, because these are the houses, have 30 degrees in them. 10 degrees is the first decan or realm, second decan, third decan. And they're in threes in each sign as well as each house, okay? If you multiply 36 times 10, you get to 360 degrees, which is actually a tattoo I have on my back. I'll show that in the picture another time. All right. So again, there are 12 houses, 12 times 36. I'm sorry. Did I say 10 times 36, right? Because of the 10 degrees in each decan, okay? There are 12 houses because there are also 12 zodiac signs. All right, so in the 360-degree wheel, you will notice sometimes, not on this because this is not a birth chart, but you'll notice that there are lines going across the center of the wheel. That has to do with the transitions of the planets aspecting each other. Red lines generally mean square. Don't get me on the other colors. I do always pay attention to the red lines for squares to see where there is conflict in the birth chart or either in the current forecast. So let's begin with the roughest, the toughest aspect of all the aspects. There are more than, I'm going to go over 5 aspects. There are actually more than that, but we're going to go over the basic ones. So square is the roughest and the toughest one. Square is a 90-degree angle. You know, if you put 2 90-degree angles, you will get a square. So square is a frustration or a conflict. It is not productive. It is usually forced energy, sometimes forced to settle things. So definitely the square, an example, the square going on with Saturn and Uranus, the old world versus the new world, is definitely a forced aspect, a forced conflict, a forced square. the planets are not getting along. And as we see, it's 2021, it's kind of a what do you call it, a tug of war game between us and our beliefs. It's definitely how we have been groomed since we all have been born, and now we're going into something that none of us have ever expected or ever imagined or know what is even going on still. So the planet of restriction like Saturn and the planet of rebellion like Uranus, that is definitely a conflict, a confliction that you can see in a transition. All right, next we have the opposition. Opposition is 180 degrees apart. So it would be, 6 signs apart. The opposition sign of Aries right now is Libra, which is why we have the Libra full moon coming up. Though that's an opposition sun and moon. That's what full moons are. Full moons are opposition the sun. So if the sun is in Aries, the full moon will be in the opposition sign, which is Libra. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Oh, if you can see down here, we have the Libra scale. I don't know if you can see it. But anyway, so to find your opposition sign, you can count 6 signs backwards or forwards. You'll get to your opposition sign. I'm a Scorpio. My opposition sign is Taurus. Pisces is Virgo. Cancer is Capricorn. Leo is Aquarius. And Gemini is Sagittarius. I believe I did all of them. Yes. All right. So opposition signs are 180 degrees apart in the 360-degree wheel. This is a struggle to balance, especially with the ram and the scale. A good opposition example is the North and South nodes. Currently they're in Gemini and Sagittarius. And a short trip is Gemini, or the lower mind. An example, I'm going to go with the trip, the travel. Gemini is short trip, or Gemini is also local environments. Sagittarius is global and long distance. So oppositions could identify the emotions that those 2 signs go through. It could be overwhelming, it could be powerful, it could be like a tag team. Some of the characteristics in one sign have similar characteristics in the other, and vice versa. So it's tough, but it's still not as tough as squares. But the balance is what makes it tough. Struggling to the balance. Conjunction is neutral, actually. Conjunction is at 8 degrees, so somewhere within the realm there's a planet. So currently Venus and the sun, because the sun just went into Aries and Venus just went into Aries as well, they are conjunct because they both are in the first realm of Aries. They both are, the sun, this is the 3rd or 4th day of Aries today. So the sun is at 4 degrees. So Venus is around 2 or 3 degrees, and they're actually going to come in the next 2 days really close to each other. Venus will catch up with the sun. So that was an example of the conjunction. Again, it has to be under 8 degrees apart. So even if it's in like 12 degrees here, it'll still be conjunct if this was like, my math. If this was like 4, that's 8 degrees from 12. Okay. So positive or negative energies with the conjunction, also blending the energies. So that's why it's positive or negative, because you could get 2 fiery planets like Saturn and Uranus. They're not conjunct, they're square, but even so, they're blended energy. Or something like Mars and, well, Venus and the sun. Venus is not exalted, meaning it's not in its best at Aries, but actually the moon is currently in Leo, and as it moves, it just moved into Leo, so the moon is actually conjunct. It just moved into Leo, I want to say 5 hours ago. So the moon is actually conjunct probably with the sun, even though the moon travels faster. So Leo is exalted in the sun. I'm sorry, no, I'm saying this wrong. I'm saying this wrong. Anyway, let me come back to conjunctions. But anytime there are planets that complement each other, it's a good blend. That's what I'm trying to say. And anytime, I'm trying to think of an example of this, but anytime there is a, but Venus is definitely complementing the sun right now. The sun is complementing Venus. The sun is actually exalted. That's what I'm trying to say, in Aries. And Venus is not exalted in Aries, but Venus is being conjunct. The blended energies are creating great values, beauty, and love concerns of healing with that. And it's coming into ourselves a little bit more and loving ourselves and valuing ourselves more. The sun helps Aries. The sun in Aries helps Venus in Aries with the conjunction. All right. Next, getting to the good stuff. So sextile is when they are 60 degrees away. Generally, like a sign, 60 degrees would be like 2 signs apart. So Gemini and Aries, something like that. They're actually like the compatible signs, I like to call them. So Aries is a fire sign, and fire signs are compatible to air signs. So sextiles come from compatible signs, 60 degrees away generally. They're not always compatible, but it is compatible energy. So it's working together. It's productivity. An example is Mercury sextile and Neptune right now. Mercury is the planet of communication. Neptune is the planet of dreams, imagination, creativity. So this is a good time to write, to do public speaking. It's the way you communicate, because Mercury is still in Pisces and Neptune is also in Pisces. So sometimes it's the same sign. That's what I meant about it's not always the opposite, the conjunction sign. Okay. I mean, the compatible signs. Mercury makes me tongue-tied talking about it. All right, so spiritually and physically, sextiles create creative energy, great flow, that compatible energy of just working together collaboratively, which is good. And we actually have, I believe, 3 sextiles going on this week, if I'm not mistaken. All right. And last but not least, what we're going to talk about, the aspect of today, is trine. Trine, triangle, of course, 120 degrees. That is the elemental signs. So for instance, Pisces, Cancer, and Scorpio, all the water signs, you go over if you were going on the wheel, they would make a triangle, okay? That's why it's called a trine, 120 degrees away. This is a graceful flow of energy. I use the water signs because trine makes me think of the graceful flow. And the elements, like I said, water, fire, earth, and air this is a fast moving energy, and they are gracefully flowing through this energy, okay? A perfect example of this is Sun trining Mars. Mars is the planet of that rules Aries. The sun is in Aries, Mars is in Gemini. So this is not based on the same air signs, but it is both in the, I'm sorry, it's not in the same elements, but it's both in the same zodiac sign. Okay, and that is happening right now as well. Not in the same zodiac sign, I'm sorry, they're in like sextile signs, sextile, so they're compatible and they are trining at 120 degrees. All right, overall, this is a good time when you're trining to handle business, to take action, especially with the fire sign and the air sign. This might take more pride in your work, that you can be busy building your empire, using this energy at your greatest manifestation capacity. So it's a good time to be optimistic and get things done. I believe that is it. If you need to know currently what are these aspects going on right now, you can either go back to my last video, you can check online. There are apps that I can suggest, talk to me. I'm here. Thank you for liking, viewing, and subscribing, and commenting. So if you have a comment, please leave one and I will get back to you ASAP. Peace. Y'all have a wonderful first week of Aries season. Again, Happy New Year. And then the year started on the spring equinox, which was 3/20. It is 3/23. 3 days ago. All right, y'all. Peace.
Don't be mad at me. Do not be mad at motherfucking me.